This is the Conscious Hour. Now we're going to tune into Danny Haifong and Professor Morandi. Professor Morandi's the one that somebody put up on X $1 million bounty for his head. If whoever kills him, they're going to give someone $1 million. Why would they want to kill this guy? He's a professor of history, and he's telling you the truth. And he's revealing, in fact, what's really going on in the war. So listen to what this new report is coming out about the downed aircraft and the rescue mission by Trump and the distortion of reality. You just watch what you're watching on mainstream television and compare it to what you're seeing now. This is fact-based. This isn't politically driven. And then ask yourself the question, if they really want to have a peace agreement with Iran, what does that look like? That looks like the West takes over everything and controls what Iran does. Would you like Iran to control our country? No. Listen to this. And please start watching YouTube. Please start watching The Conscious Hour. We take the news that isn't fabricated in the United States to put political spin, and we just uncover the truth so you know exactly what's going on. And think of it this way. We're spending hundreds of billions. This war will cost us trillions. Trillions. What if we spent that money at home? Now you know in November what you need to do. You need to vote out all the warmongers so we can spend our money at home. And then that thing that Donald Trump used to say, make America great again. Yeah, make it great for Americans, not for corporations, but for we the people. And don't put our kids in harm's way to go fight gangster capitalism wars overseas so corporations can make profits. Like Jared Kushner, he's got 40 billion lined up for the future city of Gaza, but there's 400 billion lined up for the entire coastline where the Palestinians used to live, still live, and all the way into Lebanon and Syria. Oh, but they don't talk about that on the mainstream news, do they? No, they don't talk about gangster capitalism. Let's get into some truth here, folks.
Forces there. Iran is a huge country. It's the size of the UK, Germany, France combined, and even bigger.
It's three-quarters the size of the United States.
In some areas, there it's very the population is quite low. So the air defenses and the military presence tends to be where we have large populations. And the terrain there, I think, is evident of the fact that there isn't much going on. But in any case, this is definitely not a success. Having to destroy and bomb 2 damaged planes, or even if they say they weren't damaged, but 2 damaged planes and 4 helicopters alongside them. Apparently there were 4 helicopters. That's not a success. Assuming that this is just about retrieving a single injured pilot. And I saw something, I think it was on Sky News, where I saw a clip where they were talking about this pilot, and you saw there was wall-to-wall coverage. When they slaughtered 68 little girls at an elementary school, we didn't see any wall-to-wall coverage. Actually, we didn't see any coverage. But and then one of these people who was on the show on Sky News was saying, they're seeking him out and they're trying to find him, and this puts a human face on this this whole war. And I was wondering, like, the guy who bombs kids, that's the human face of it all, and all those kids slaughtered and all those women slaughtered and all those workers in factories who were burned alive by the Americans and Israelis. And the fact that Trump wants to send Iran back to the Stone Age. Yeah. You don't see any Western media outlets say these, threatening to send Iran back to the Stone Age. These are threats of crimes against humanity. You don't see any outrage in The Guardian or among these European leftists who pretend to be, anti-imperialists. You don't see anything from anyone. And it just shows the utter moral bankruptcy of the entire political class in the West. And I'm not just talking about Democrats and Republicans. I'm talking about those sort of mainstream critics of U.S. foreign policy. The language that Trump is using to dehumanize, and of course all of them are complicit. I mean, all these people who've been saying the Iranian regime is this and lying. Even people like even like the so-called leftists and others who who are sort of on the margins of the mainstream political sphere, who, on the one hand, they say don't attack, don't bomb. Yes, they're bad, they're evil, they murder, they slaughter tens of thousands of peaceful protesters and all that nonsense. And of course, just today, Trump admitted that he was sending weapons to the protesters, according to Sky News, according to Fox News journalists who spoke to him today. But of course, that's all ancient history. They'll just repeat the same nonsense over and over again. But it is quite stunning that we are living in a day and age where the leader of the United States can threaten to send people back to the Stone Age repeatedly, and no one is saying this is a monster. These are monsters.
Imagine that. Yeah, it's true. We're saying we're going to send Iran back to Stone Age. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, Iran's the enemy. Iran's the enemy." I know that's because you watch U.S. news, and they lie to you and they program you. So let me ask you a question: Your kids, your parents are overseas now. They're fighting a war for what? For Donald Trump, for Jared Kushner, for Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Greater Israel Project. Jared Kushner's got $40 billion ready to build a future city. That's what your morals and principles are based on? And this day of Jesus, this is the day that Jesus rose from the grave? Yeah, happy Easter, folks. So let's make it a good Easter. Let's admit one thing. We, Americans, are spending our money overseas for no reason but to ingratiate or make massive profits for corporations so they can steal another country's resources. That's what it is. Iran never came and struck America. Iran doesn't want a war. They don't even believe in it. But they have to have a military and they have to be defensive. Otherwise, these terrorists in the West would just consume their country. So this is the day of Jesus Christ, folks. Don't you think it's time to come to Jesus and remember those words? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not judge. Love thy neighbor as you love thyself. This is the conscious hour, folks. It's your conscious hour to do one thing. Get off the old machine. It's, I'm the red, white, and blue. Throw your flag down on the ground. You can even piss on it if you want. The flag doesn't represent America. We aren't blue and we aren't red. They got you in a camp. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. See how they keep you divided? And have they ever made your life better? No. Do you trust your government? No. Then why do you trust your media that you're watching right now? Tune into the Conscious Hour. We don't make up the news. We dissect the bullshit that's out there. Luckily, it gives me a job to do. You know what I mean? That free job is, hey, I'll take the bullshit and break it down into sweet, condensed milk so you can see who the real terrorists are. It's the people that just love the game of Monopoly. Yeah, and now it's on steroids so we can control the world. Let's blow it up and then what? Rebuild it? Boy, talking about old gladiator mentality. This is the Conscious Hour. Hit the like and share button. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit that like and share button. Get this voice out there. And then eventually I can start running and bringing people in to do conversations and have interviews and really get into it. But right now, the algorithm likes to keep me down. So hit that like button, hit that share button, and keep talking about the Conscious Hour. It's your Conscious Hour. Thanks.